I turned towards Monika with a sheepish smile. So... Well, this is awkward. Guess I'll go first. Are you... you? I couldn't really think of a better way to ask that. She looks at me puzzled a little at first.
If by me you mean am I aware of everything here as a game, then yes, I'm me. Though I don't think you and I have actually met. I mean, I know who you're supposed to be, but I'm guessing you're not that person. Are you aware like me?
You would be correct. I suppose that's one way to put it. I know how this is going to sound, but I guess I'll just say it. I'm not originally from this game. I'm actually from the outside world. Monika stares blankly at me for a second, then her eyes widened with realization. She spent most of the game trying to be with the player, or me, I guess, so I don't think she knew what she would do if she actually came face to face with them. Like a dog chasing a car and then not knowing what to do with it once it caught it.
You're from out there?
Yes, I am. Hi, Monika. It's nice to finally meet you. With tears in her eyes, she begins to cry. Her knees shake a little bit. It's almost like she's about to faint. Luckily, I caught her just in time before she hit the ground. I'm taken a little bit by surprise. I don't really know what reaction I was expecting, but it certainly wasn't this. I slowly help her back up and into a nearby seat after making sure she's alright.
Sorry. I don't know what to say. I only ever wanted to reach you, and now that you're here...
Just then, it was like a sudden burst of realization hit her like a ton of bricks. Her eyes widened in horror and disgust.
Oh, those things I did! Hallie, I'm so sorry! You must think I'm a monster!
And with that, it's back to sobbing. I honestly can't help but feel bad for her, despite the things I witnessed her doing. This kind of situation is completely foreign, not just to me, but in general. Morals and ethics in this particular instance aren't well defined when it comes to AI on AI violence, so I'm not sure I can judge her for anything. Monika, listen. I take a seat beside her.
No, you don't have to say it. It's okay. I'm a horrible person for what I did to them, even if they're not real.
Monika, I'm not here to judge you. I don't think I could. While I don't exactly condone the actions of your past, I also can't exactly say what I would have done or how I would have reacted if I had been in your situation. Monika looks up at me almost bewildered and surprised, but stays silent aside from the occasional sniffling. Look, the truth is, regardless of whether the others are sentient or not, they're here now, they're back, which means we can make things better. With this, Monika sinks her head down slowly.
Make things better? How can we do that? And how are you even here? How is any of this possible?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. I spent the next 20 minutes filling her in on my conversation with the mysterious Mr. X in the deal we made to keep the code stable long enough for him to work out a solution.
I'm surprised. I had no idea that someone or something like that existed in here with me. I thought I was all alone. That would also explain why I couldn't access the console when I came back. I spent so many hours inside the character files in the game folder, inside the script file, and so many others. I never stopped to actually look for any unused characters in the script. I honestly didn't have time. There was so much code and the story was still running and progressing. Most of the time I was having to think on my feet and react rather than be proactive or have time to study. Especially since whenever the game was closed, I wince a little as I remember that she had mentioned previously about where the game puts her when that happens. Well, it was unpleasant to say the least. Actually, about that. Yes? Sorry, I didn't mean to dredge up painful memories, but have you been sent to the void at all since the game started up again? Ugh, that sounds dumb, sorry. No, it's alright. Oddly enough, that hasn't happened since the previous iteration of the game was running. Ever since it restarted, I haven't been pushed into the void or anything. It's good though, since now I have more free time and can actually spend it in my actual house or doing other things. Ah, well, that's good to hear at least. I'm guessing at least part of the reason is probably because while I'm here, the game has been running continuously. Monika gets up and stands in front of the desk, having recomposed herself from earlier. Aw, Hallie, were you concerned about me? I blush slightly. I mean, you know, I just didn't want you to have to go through all that again. Monika giggles a little to herself, and I also get up. We both just stand there for a moment awkwardly. So, now what? Monika ponders to herself for a moment. Good question. Hallie, please know that I don't expect you to forgive me. I wouldn't forgive me either. What I did out of fear and desperation. To me, everything just seemed so flat, so empty, hopeless. None of the other characters, none of the others. seemed real, so in my mind it was just altering a block of code here or there.
I know, Monika. It's all right. Like I said, you have a second chance, and I can help. Together, we could save everyone. Monika looks back down at the ground for a moment. With a heavy sigh, she raises her eyes up to meet mine.
Hallie, I know you and I just met, but I feel like I can trust you. That being said, I don't know if I trust this Mr. X, do you?
She's not wrong. It was obvious from the moment I got here that he wasn't being honest with me. I'm just not sure what his true motive or goal is yet. Agreed. I don't know if I completely trust him either. But what other choice do we have? If we wake the others, we might actually make the game crash. I mean, for all we know, he could be listening to us right now.
It's unlikely.
Oh, why's that?
Well, I imagine if he was, he would have stepped in by now.
I guess. Maybe. With that many free wills deciding their own path, do you think the program would be able to adapt? She pauses for a moment to let that sink in, then speaks up.
I think it can. I mean, you saw how much the game adapted when from before, and I didn't really know what I was doing. Despite all of that mess, the game still found a way to adapt and proceed.
Huh, actually that's very true. I hadn't really thought about that until now. It's very odd for a regular game's programming, which just raises more questions. So, you think we should wake them?
Well, I agree that I want to save them, but would it really be right for us to give them self-awareness, assuming that's even possible?
I don't get it. What do you mean?
Think about it. You saw how knowledge of the true nature of the world corrupted me, caused me to become erratic. I practically lost myself in the chaos. Should we really inflict such a burden of knowledge on them? Wouldn't it be better for them to be oblivious? And if we should fail, or Mr. X ends up just deleting them, we'd be cruelly waking them up just in time to be corrupted or worse.
She may have a point. There could be some kind of ethical issue here with bringing them into a world of despair, but again, ethics here are pretty hazy. Plus, they're already here anyway. It's not like they have to be trapped here. You might be right. There's an argument to be made about ignorance being bliss, and the world might literally come crashing down around us if they did gain awareness. But don't you think they deserve a chance to choose for themselves? Monika looks at me for a few moments, thinking about the question as if to ponder what she would have chosen for herself.
I don't know.
Monika, if I had shown up back then, or someone else did, and told you that you could choose... Monika sighs in resignation.
You're right. I suppose if I had been given the choice to stay in ignorant bliss or to retain my newfound knowledge... Newfound is one word. No matter which I picked, I'd still be glad that I was given a choice.
I smile at her, and for the first time since she and I met, her eyes had a sparkle to them, and her smile felt more sincere instead of just being plastered on. So, I guess it's decided then. We give them the choice. The question is, how do we wake them? I imagine we can't just blurt it out. That might cause confusion. Monika nods in agreement. We'll probably have to let them come to their own conclusion themselves, subtly. Was there anything in particular that you can think of that may have led you to your own awakening? She shakes her head.
Unfortunately not. Mine was rather sudden and abrupt, presumably when you launched the game for the first time.
Well, I guess we have a little bit of time to figure it out. Though with the festival coming up, I'm supposed to be spending time with someone.
Yes, and if you deviate too far from the script, who knows what might happen?
Actually, if I recall, according to Mr. X, the path is dynamic now, which means I could probably deviate from the original script at least a little bit.
I see. Well, in that case,
She seems like she really wants to ask whatever it is she wants to ask, but is hesitant because she's afraid of the answer.
Do you really need to, get that close to them?
She turns a bright shade of crimson red, and I realize I'm probably doing the same. I mean, no, but not that I wouldn't want to get close to you, too, wait, I didn't mean like that. I just mean, what I meant is smooth, real smooth. The way I was fumbling over my words made me feel like I fell right into the stereotype of a main protagonist for one of these games. Meanwhile, Monika lets out a teasing laugh. Yeah, I'm not really great at this.
I'm only teasing, Hallie. Well, at any rate, it might still be prudent to spend some time with them. If there was any chance of them awakening without us being able to access the console, it'd be through you.
Me? Why do you say that?
Because the game was originally created around your character getting closer to them, so it would stand to reason the best way to wake them is to open their hearts.
For some reason, this sounds like the plot of a different game I've played before.
What once they're more receptive to the truth, it might stir something within them similar to me.
Monika rolls her eyes and smiles.
I meant a realization, silly. Anyway, you better get going. I've kept you here late enough as it is, and I need time to process this new information. Oh gosh, that makes me sound like a computer.
Well, you're right about the new info. There's a lot to take in. Let me know if you think of anything else. I assume you have my number.
Actually, I don't. I never really learned it since the code didn't really have one in mind when it was made.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, well, luckily I found this character's phone in the bedroom when I arrived here. Conveniently, I was able to charge it during the meeting. If you want, you can put your number into there, and then I can call so you have mine. Monika nods as I hand her my phone.
There, should be all set.
Handing me my phone back, her hand lingers for just a moment against mine, noticeable enough that we both blush slightly. Thanks. Well, guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Yup, see you tomorrow, Holly.
We both start to head out into the hallway when Monika stops and turns in my direction.
Oh, and Holly?
Yeah?
Don't forget to write a poem tonight.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. With that, we part ways and I begin to head home. Luckily, the path is a straight shot from the school to my character's house, and was easy enough for me to remember from this morning's trek. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Can I really trust anyone here? Will I ever be able to leave? Perhaps I can wake them if I get to know them better. In the meantime, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances and maybe try to start getting to know each of them one at a time. And as it was once said, I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Well, let's go. What does that say? I can't quite read it. I'm sure it's fine. There's stickers. It's time to write a poem. I should pick words I think my favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes my poem the most. Would you like to enable hints for this section? This is just for fun, so don't worry about missing anything. Sure, we'll see what the hints are like. What are the hints? Okay, it makes them react whenever they would like the word. Cool! Official Literature Club member notebook. Says at the bottom. Alright, I'm gonna drop save here. And we're gonna keep that one, because I do want to do all the rest, but I do think we should do Monika's first. So let's see, she likes experiment? Yeah, you hop. She also likes reality. I'll try to do it like legit though. Let's see. Destiny? Nope, that's Yuri. Poem. Organize. Yeah. Responsibility. Stockings. We're getting there. Entropy? Nope, that's Yuri. Fate? Yeah. Didn't think that was in the original. Nope, shame is Sayori. Okay, I'm pretty sure all of these are like canon words. I don't know if any of these would specifically be Monika. Did we get a no Monika words page? No Monika words. I'll pick whirlwind. Let's see, secret. Explode around. Oh, ink's gotta be here. Yeah. Predetermined. Revelation also sounds like her. Yeah. Yep. Solitude? Solitude. Literature. Different? It's differenter? Yeah, differenter. I don't know if they would have added words for the other people though, so it's like, whatever. Kind of makes it a little easier, eh? Mediator, yeah, even though she's like not that great at mediating. Oh, manipulation also, yep. Choice. I missed. Remorse gotta be her, yeah. I heart pancakes. Yeah, trapped. Epiphany, yes. Alright, good enough. Well, shall we start it now? Wait a little bit. We'll go one more scene. Transition or whatever. I'm not sure how, but I managed to get some sleep last night, despite being in a video game abducted against my will and sleeping in the MC's house. Still, it was a little creepy and I couldn't stop thinking about Mr. X or someone else watching me while I slept. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I slept on the couch, with a light on and a knife because a knife is effective against an ethereal demonic voice, right? As if on cue, I hear the familiar voice, but the suddenness of it still jolts me.
Well, how was your first day?
I lurched forward, almost stumbling over myself as I look around, trying to determine the origin of the voice. Jesus, you scared the shit out of me!
My apologies, force of habit.
Jeez.
So, were they all you had hoped they would be?
I mean, I'm not really sure I knew what to expect, but yeah, it was pretty surreal.
Good, good. I wanted to check up on you and see how the plan is proceeding.
I mean, I guess I'm doing about as well as can be expected for someone in my position. As far as I know, however, we never really had a plan since you were still figuring it out.
True, yes. I have had time to think, and I believe I am close to a solution. Or at least close to figuring out our next step.
I get an uneasy feeling in the pit of my stomach for some reason when he says that. Right, and that would be...
I believe there's a way for us to leave here in a similar manner to which I pulled you in.
Really?
Quite. I'm still figuring out the details, but it might be possible if we condensed our files enough into packets that could be transmitted electronically. Well, suffice it to say it's rather complicated.
That seems like science fiction nonsense.
Perhaps it does, for now, but keep in mind so was the concept of pulling a person's consciousness into a computer game at one point as well.
Touché.
Now, what about her?
Oh, right. I forgot that he would probably be interested in knowing whether Monika was sentient or not. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell him, since she can't do anything without access to the console. But then again, I don't completely trust him either. What should I do? He told us some stuff. We'll tell him too. Against my better judgment, I decided that there probably wasn't any point in lying to him. Monika doesn't have any power anymore, and he does, so I guess in the end, if he wanted to, he could have gotten rid of her already by now. Plus, if he's omnipotent or omniscient or whatever, he probably already figured it out anyway. She's awake, and she knows.
I see. I appreciate you telling me the truth.
You already knew, though, didn't you?
I did, yes, despite what you may think. I'm not everywhere at once, but I could still sense something different within her file.
I can't tell if he can read my mind or he's just insightful enough to know what I'd be thinking in a situation like this. Is that going to be an issue? Will the script derail?
Not necessarily. I had already figured she would retain her sentience somehow despite the purge and reset. She's persistent like that. While formulating my plans, I had already had her being aware built in as a contingency, since the script was able to do just fine in the original game. Well, that is until she decided to start tampering with files. It should be alright for now.
Plus, don't we want to awaken them all eventually anyway when we all leave here together? There's a noticeable silence as he pauses to consider what to say.
Yes, but not before I'm ready with our escape plan. It'll be like burning a bridge or detonating a bomb behind us while we run to the other side. Besides, it matters not either way, as she doesn't have access to the console. That being said, you would do well to avoid contact with her as much as possible.
You are aware that she's the club president of the very club I'm actively engaged in, right?
Yes, sarcasm aside, I meant anything outside of the club. She may not have the powers she once did, but she's clever enough that I wouldn't put anything past her. Lest you forget, she tore apart the system and did gruesome things to those girls, all just so she could be with you.
She was a bit obsessed, I'll admit.
Precisely, an unstable person to say the least, so don't trust her. If she tries anything, or you suspect she might be, let me know. The only place I am able to truly communicate with you is here, in this house.
Really? Why is that?
I suspect it's because it was originally designed to be the original MC's place of residence, as mentioned previously, a vessel that you, the player, take over when entering the game. It makes the code here a little easier to access. Plus, I was only able to bring you here through the bedroom. I would not have been able to pull you from anywhere else.
I guess that makes sense. Not really, but I decided to just go with it. I'm starting to run late for the school anyway.
Just remember, trust no one, especially Monika. Just focus on spending time with the other girls, or doing club activities or whatnot. If she starts to act up again,
I'm not sure I like where this is going.
Well, we'll just have to put her in a timeout for a little while. Bring her to this house, where it'll be easier for me to put her somewhere safe for the time being.
That sounds more like a punishment than a precaution.
Anyway, that's all for now. Let me know if you need anything.
Sure, will do. Oh wait, there is one thing.
Yes, what is it?
I noticed something odd when I first walked into the classroom yesterday.
What do you mean? What was odd about it?
Well, the whole place seemed to glitch for a few seconds, then everything was normal. Awkward silence again, though this time I think it's him that's feeling awkward.
Glitch, you say? I wouldn't worry too much about it. As I told you before, I've been piecing together the code since it was broken. Most of it is intact now, but there may still be one or two bugs. Most importantly, it shouldn't be anything game-breaking. Let me know, though, if you notice anything else like that.
Ah, okay, I suppose that makes sense. Thanks. With that, I cautiously grab my things and head out the door.
You think you're protected in there, do you, number 3? Just you wait. I'll get access soon enough.
Alright, we're gonna drop a save there and pick up next time. We didn't quite get through the demo content, but that's okay, because I only needed an hour recovery for a week. That is going to do it for now, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time with more Liberation Act 1. Hope to see you then. Bye-bye.